So, if you're done with that first video, let's go over the next step, which would be aspects. And I think that the best way, instead of talking about, oh, this aspect is this, and it just is, like most astrologies try to teach, or astrologers try to teach, they just say the things, and then they say, oh, this means this just because it does. And that's that. Nobody talks about, like, why. Um, I am going to go over the why and talk a bit about the root of it all. Um, I don't know. I haven't really studied much esoteric astrology to know if anybody ever has gone over the why, or if anybody even knows the why. But to me, if you basically have an understanding of, like, the houses and what I had explained in the video just before, then it's pretty self-evident, and it just becomes obvious from there. So let's go over the most harmonious, right? The most harmonious aspect is a trine. You have a grand trine right here. Perfect way to have an example. Now, a trine is the most harmonious. It is the most fluent aspect there is. With the grand trine, we can perfectly see that the reason it is so is because it's connecting all of its same element. Air, 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 or as you know, I like to say, light. They each harmoniously aspect each other. Now, we could even go through with the 12th houses, and we could say, or not the 12th houses, sorry, 12th, 4th to 8th house, and we could see the relationship that they would hold within themselves. For instance, the trust and nurturement would have a good harmonious reaction to karmic relationships, karmic debts to others, which would also play a huge role into the final death of it and the letting go of it, right? The letting go of something, the final death would also become the trust and become the nurturing of it, if you were to let go. In a lot of esoteric beliefs, like, for instance, the Freemasons practice a little thing called invoking the angel of death. And that, what they do is they do a little seance thing. They do a little gesture of saying, hey, okay, the angel of death has let me borrow everything, and it's not really mine, and the angel of death can take any of it away from me at any time. In this way, they play out the 12th house. This would allow a person who goes through this to have the faith and trust in that thing because they've already let go. You see what I'm saying? And in any trine between any houses, between any aspects in the signs, it becomes a harmonious relationship. For instance, we could see from a trine from the first house to a trine in the fifth, it would be I am the drive, the passion, and just belief in self of the I am would be very beneficial to your hobbies and your fun. Those both would also trine to Sagittarius, well, ninth house ruled by Sagittarius, and they would play a very good part in your drives, ambitions, goals, ideals, ideologies, um, yourself as the archer, right? If you were to harness yourself from within and harness the fun, passionate hobbies and what you're good at, what your skills are, then you'd be very good at your ideals. These trines can go any which way all over the chart. Now, why is that? Why is the triangle the most harmonious thing? Well, if you would remember from what I said in the earlier video, from the first three houses, there's the I am, then there's the sense of value, the duality, the yin yang, the opposition, and then there is the harmony of the Holy Trinity before there is the creation of Mother Earth. So before there is the creation of Mother Earth, before there is the creation of this realm, we have the Holy Trinity preceding it. This is why the Trinity, the trine, the triangle, is the most harmonious aspect, because as above, so below, as within, so without. At the subatomic level, we could see this as, I like to say, okay, so Gemini is the third sign, right? Now get this. It used to be two spheres, as I said before. When we look at electrons are negatively charged. Now, electrons themselves do not make light. Why does lightning bolt, or why does electricity give off light? Because when two electrons get too close to each other, they bend space and time with their charge, with their, as we call it, negative charge. When they get too close and collide with each other, space and time bends and releases a packet of light we call photons. Light, energy, as light. So you have the irony, as irony is the face of God. When these two electrons meet, realize they are the same, reality emerges, awareness emerges from it, knowledge, wisdom, light. This becomes the pinpoint between the trine, and 3 becomes 4, and 4 becomes creation. From this, we can see and understand that everything emerges from the trine, the triangle, the Holy Trinity. And from there, understanding of the aspects becomes much, much, much more easier than to just accept from regular astrological views and modern astrology's views of, oh, it just is. You could see, okay, so that's why. The underlying foundation of all reality is created from this. Thus it becomes harmonious.